Hello, this is Lynn Matajan from Matajan's Herbals, and tonight we're going to talk about crystals. So basically we're going to talk tonight about what crystals are and a little bit about things that you can do with them. We're going to do, if you go get one of your stones, mine today is carnelian, we're going to do a real short meditation with them, and then after that I'm going to show you one way to read with stones, okay? And it'll be a chakra reading with your stones. We will continue on Monday with more crystal information, and we'll be talking about crystal healing a little bit more at that point in time. So, crystals were here from the very beginning. They have continued to grow as Earth has continued her journey, and they are, and the crystals, where they grow and how they grow, indicate how the Earth has grown and changed. Climate changes, reformation like earthquakes, tidal waves, volcanoes, man-made changes, nuclear spills, war, pollution. You can tell the story of the Earth through her crystals. They are a chemical imprint of and for evolutions. They are mineral storehouses containing the records of the development of the Earth over millions of years and bearing indelible memory of the powerful forces that shaped it. Crystals are made out of minerals. We also are made out of minerals. Just like people have the same internal structure, skeleton, muscles, organs, crystals also have an internal structure called a lattice. Now, while all different crystals have different lattices, all rock types have the same. So all amethysts, whether they're big or small, have the same lattice. All citrine, whether they are big or small, have a different lattice than the amethyst, but a very similar one because they're both considered an ametrine. But they grow differently. Some grow with pressure, like diamonds. Others in underground chambers were laid down in layers and dripped into being. However they are made, each of the crystals can absorb, conserve, focus, and emit energy. And therefore, stones and crystals can be used for healing or augmenting your magic. In terms of healing, stones can heal through soothing and energizing the body energy, the human body. They can reduce levels of stress, the underlying cause of many diseases, and enable us to harness the vital energies of nature to create balance and well-being of mind, body, and spirit. A crystal healing is aimed at attaining a level of well-being that is not just freedom from illness, but also includes listening to feelings, emotions, thoughts, and nurturing our spiritual life, because it's those things that create true healing. Healing comes not only from the lattice, the structure of the stone, but also from the color. It is color healing also reveals the energetic reality of the world around us. What we perceive as color is simply the brain's way of recognizing the many different energy qualities of light. Each frequency of visible light, each color, creates changes in us at many different levels, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Now, I know, in terms of not stones, but in terms of color, if I am in a white room with a white floor for a long period of time, I start to twitch. But if I am surrounded by the warm colors of fall, I immediately fall into a relaxed state that is, that just feels good to me. It feels warm, it feels heartwarming. But if I go into a room with red and yellow, you're going to be a little bit jumpy. And science has also proved this out again and again and again, and that's why we have hospitals that are all the same colors and jails that are the same colors, because they're trying to manipulate the attitudes and the the emotions of the people that are in there. I mean, you don't want to get people that are in the hospital all revved up. In the same case, you don't necessarily want people in jail to get all revved up, because then that's going to create more fights, and that's not going to get us anywhere. So learning to recognize and use color with awareness and intent can bring both positive and gaslighting changes depending upon what you're looking for. Crystals can be used as amulets to ward off harm, talismans to encourage virtues, magical guardians to heal, and tools to interpret messages from the spirit world. They also can be put on the table, near or under the table of a healing, and the energy will radiate up to the person that needs to be healed. There's two different ways of using crystal healing. Spiritual healing paradigms and resonance placement paradigm. Now, the spiritual healing paradigm uses crystals like clear quartz to direct and amplify energy from either the healer or the spiritual realm. Healing energy is mentally directed towards the stone, which amplifies and clarifies the healing potential. The crystal may or may not touch the patient, and usually you're using 1 to 2 stones. Now, the resonance placement program does not require belief in spirit or energies from any other source than the stone and the healing intuition of the patient themselves. This process can be used as many stones, each chosen for a particular beneficial effort, placed on or around the patient. The color, shape, and composition of the stones are thought to create a resonance that encourages the healing to take place. So if you see pictures of somebody laying on their back and you're seeing stones marching down the front of their body, that is probably a chakra healing where the stone goes on the chakra so that the appropriate stone will work with that chakra. Now, if I were going to do that, I would also take a selenite and put it on top of the table where you were laying, above any of the other stones that are on your body, because the selenite, it charges and cleans the stones as they work, and it also charges and cleans and aligns your chakras. So that way you're getting the stones to work a little bit harder because of the stones that you've put it with. The like each human is uniquely different, each stone is also different, and we can respond differently to the specific energies in each type of stone. It is a good thing to take time to get to know your stone and to know how to react to them, rather than to simply accept the word of somebody else's. And so that's what we're going to do a little bit later, is we're going to take one of your stones that you want to meditate with, and we're going to make a connection with the stone so that you can say, yes, this stone, the book says this is what this stone does, but for me it also does this. And it's just like when you come into the shop and you tell me that you've got a medical issue, and I'll pull out 4 or 5 herbs and we'll muscle test those herbs to make sure which one works for your body, because your body is not the same as mine, and I have different allergies than you have, and I have different abilities to assimilate different energies than you have. And so consequently, if we both walked into my shop with anxiety, any one of the adaptogens could help you. It could be ashwagandha, it could be astragalus, it could be holy basil, it could be rhodiola. But that doesn't mean that it would be the same one that helped me, because we are ultimately a little bit different. It's the same with the stones. So if you come into this shop and there's not a whole lot of people in there, and you say, okay, I want to buy a stone, what I'll typically do, this is one of my stone boxes, is I want you to visualize right now that these are all the same kind of stones, and they're not. They're all very different. But what I would do is I would have you, can you see, okay, let's move the box right now so that you can see better. Okay, so I am putting lots of different stones here. Now, even if they were all the same stone, in order for you to see which one is going to connect best with you, what I would have you do is take your receiving hand. So that would be your non-dominant hand. And for me, my non-dominant hand is my left hand. And I would close my eyes and I would run my hands over the stones. And when I feel a difference, so this is a golden quartz, and apparently that's the one that's going to work for me right now. What I felt here was a tingle in my hand. Excuse me, I felt a little bit heavier air that, it kind of stopped my hands. And it is, and you can tell that. So as I even go on, in this group of stones, this is the one that is going to work with me. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one out too. It is, if there's a lot of stones and they're smaller in the glass that you're looking to buy them, then you just go ahead and put them all out as close as possible. And then when you feel the difference, you put your hand down, and then we'll move all the rest of the stones away, and we'll make these, we'll keep reducing the number until we have 5 or 6 that goes across, and you can feel then exactly which one it is that's going to work with you. So that's how you choose your stones. Another way you can choose stones, if they're bigger stones, like this jet, and I've got bigger ones, but I didn't bring them down, is stand up, and I'm not going to do it because I'm going to do it sitting down, but if you stand up and put your feet at shoulder width apart, and then put it up to your heart, and then just say, are you moving forward or are you moving backwards? Now, most frequently, people will move towards something that's going to work for them and away from something that isn't going to work for them. Because I'm sitting, I'm not moving very well, but if I stood up, you couldn't see me because I wanted you to be able to see the tabletop. That's the second way. Now you can use this is muscle testing, it's applied kinesiology, and you can use this with anything. You can use it with stones, you can use it with food, you can use it with medicines, and it'll tell you. And you can use it, I mean, it's kind of a fun thing if you've got kids to show them this and then give them a glass of juice to hold up to their heart and give them a glass of soda pop and give them a cup of coffee and let them see what is going to work best for their bodies. And if you can teach them to do that, then they may make better decisions, as they get older. It is, okay, where are we here? Okay, crystals are used, okay, so here, what we're going to do when we're doing the meditation is you're going to hold the stone in your hand and you're going to connect with the stone and then just see how you feel about that. It's all of a sudden, are you happier? Are you more sad? Do you feel more energized? Do you feel less anxious? What is it that you feel? And that's another way that you can tell which stones are going to work for you, is just hold them and connect with them. Now, crystals are used in magic because of their power to conduct energy. When you're working with a crystal, your energy, your intent, and power are focused into the crystal and blend with the magical properties of the crystal that it already possesses. This combined energy gives your spells and workings all that much more energy. So you want to look at what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do a prosperity spell? Then you want to get a stone that would be a prosperity stone. So pretty much any green stone would work with that. This one is a bloodstone. It would work with that. This one is a malachite, and it would work with prosperity. There's I thought I had some calcite in here, but I guess I don't. So do the research. What stones am I looking for? Look at how you feel and then put your intent in it and put it on your magical altar or around the candle that you're burning, whatever that you're doing. Now, stones can be used for divination, and I've got a tiger's eye right here on a very tiny little pendulum. It's a very small piece of tiger's eye. Now, if you want to do divination, you would put it over your hand and say, show me yes. Now, if you can see, this stone is going north and south. Now I say, show me no, and there it goes. It goes east and west. Now if I say, show me I don't know, it goes in a clockwise circle, and show me maybe. And maybe goes diagonally. Stop. Now, that is not necessarily the way that your pendulum would go, because again, it can move clockwise and then counterclockwise, north and south, east and west. It is how your energy connects to the stone's energy. And so when you go out looking for a pendulum, make sure you try it out before you buy it, because not all stones will work for you. It is, stones can be used for protection, can be used for warding off negative energy. At the shop and here at my house, I have good-sized chunks of obsidian, and to keep the negative out. As soon as we get to go back to rock shows, I'll have that again. This has been the first time I've not had those big pieces of obsidian, but I don't have a contact right now for that. So it is, it's going to be, you know, what we can do. So a talisman, to do a little bit of defining, is an object, generally a crystal, a gemstone, or a sigil, that has a specific ability to aid a person in focusing and amplifying his or her power. A talisman is not a lucky rock. As the power of a talisman is in its ability to aid us in achieving the future we desire. It is both a focus and a natural amplifier. One of the stones that would be really good with that is a clear quartz. It's as a focus, it serves to control our feelings, to lead us to where we need to get our thoughts going. It focuses our actions, creating important new habits. It is through these new habits that our desired destiny is achieved. As an amplifier, a talisman brings us the ability to join with the power and energy of the life force of this planet. This power and energy serve to multiply our own individual efforts when they are properly applied. If you remember a little bit ago, I don't even remember, it was one of these lives, that we actually increased the size of the crystal grid that we had buried a couple of years ago. And that's one of the things that is like a talisman, in the fact that it is going to, each one of those stones attach to each other in a grid, which is hopefully going to make the earth healthier and make us healthier. We'll be next, us probably did it in August, is when we probably did it. And we'll probably do it again next August, simply to continue to charge the grid that is there and to make sure that that it stays strong. An amulet is something that you wear for defense and protection. So if you're carrying black tourmaline or a tiger's eye or jet, and I've got a really cool piece of jet here. This is my piece of jet. I really do like that one. If you're carrying those to ward off negative energy, then that is considered an amulet. Now, we typically will look at an amulet and think it's a necklace, but it doesn't have to be. It can be hung from your car. I have tree of life that my granddaughter gave me at Christmas to hang up in my car as an amulet for protection. And and I have a lot of stone jewelry that I haven't been wearing quite so much of lately, but I use them for specific reasons, not always for protection. If I'm trying to make a connection with some spirit or some teacher, I'll wear that, and it'll help with getting that accomplished. You can sleep with your crystals under your pillow or on your night table. Having a crystal near your bed while you sleep can help you promote rest and relaxation. And some crystals can also help you remember and interpret your dreams. You can carry your crystals with you in your pocket. These will protect you from other energies or draw to you the energies that you want. If you're writing a spell, I will put the spell on a piece of paper, and then I will put the crystal that I need to use on it on top of it, and that helps again with that kind of amplifying the energies that you want. Now, what I would like for you to do is, if you have a stone, this is going to be a quick one, and generally I wouldn't make it this quick, but we're approaching the 20 minutes. So pick up your crystal and hold it comfortably in your hands. Now this one is very cool. This is a carnelian with quartz, and it fits in my hand exactly. It's even got little places for my fingers to fall into. So this one, it feels good in my hand before I even look at the energy. Now, take a deep breath. And another one. Close your eyes and take a third deep breath. Now, send your energy down your arm, into your hand, and into the stone. Can you feel the stone? What do you feel? Is there a texture or a change of temperature? A sense of space or restriction? Are there any sense of sound? If the energy of the crystal were expressed in sound, what do you think it would sound like to you? Breathe the energy, bring it back out of the crystal and the energy. Bring it into your hand and then all the way up through to your heart. Does it remind you of anything? Is there a fragrance? Is there a quality of taste? Visualize that you open the eyes of your imagination and that you can see the energy of the crystal around you. Now, this can take any form or pattern, landscape, figure. What does it look like? What does the stone look like in your imagination? And it's not the stone that you're looking at, it's the stone's energy. What does the stone's energy look like to you? When you've explored the stone enough, just close off your inner senses and bring back your consciousness to your body. Now, carnelian to me always feels very smooth. Like even when there's divots in the stone, they're smooth, and so it's something that makes life easier for me. The red color of the carnelian is the same as my root chakra, so this stone makes me calm. It helps me get unanxious and makes me get a little bit calmer and more sturdy in whatever task that I'm doing. Because the quartz is on the top of this, this stone helps me to project its energy a little bit easier because there's an actual point that it can go to. So this is what I feel with this particular stone. It is, if you look at the stones that you carry and you pick up another one, so this one is a rose quartz, and it makes me happier because it's about love, and it's about basically love of myself, not so much love of a sweetheart relationship or anything of that nature. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to look at how to do an easy chakra reading with your stones. All right? Now, how you're going to do that is you're going to get your stones and put it in a bowl or put it in a box or whatever it is that you have, and then close your eyes and pull out 7 stones. Okay. Now, if you remember when we talked about the chakras, the colors of the chakras are Roy G. Biv: red, orange, yellow, green and pink, indigo, and violet. So, I have got a carnelian, which is my root chakra. I've got another tiger's eye, which is also your root chakra. I have got an amethyst, which is my third eye. I've got a bloodstone, and I've got a green quartz. And this is another brown stone. And then I've got a blue stone, which is my throat. So, what I'm going to tell you is, if you look at, I've got 3 stones in my root chakra, which means I'm not totally convinced that everything here on earth is going to go okay. I'm a little bit concerned about what's coming up in the next couple of days and then in the next month, and I'm concerned about COVID and the shops staying open. So I'm too grounded. I need to implement faith that I'm going to be okay, that the store is going to be okay, and we don't have to worry about that. Now, because we only have 7 stones, that means a perfect reading would be red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, and violet. Mine didn't turn out that way. So in my creativity area, I don't have anything there. And that tells me that I need to open up that creativity. Now, I know that I've been kind of chasing my tail in the store and trying to catch up, and I haven't had the opportunity to do a whole lot of creativity, and so I need to think about that and move forward. My spleen, which would go right here, is yellow, and there is nothing there, so I'm kind of giving away my power. And you can tie that to the creativity. If I'm not growing the store and growing the fun things to do, having good classes and making new products, then the store isn't going to continue to progress. And so I need to put those 2 together so that I can keep moving forward in the shop. Now, in my heart chakra, I've got a bloodstone and I've got a green quartz. So basically, what this means is I am a little bit closed off in terms of love of other people. It is not terrible. If there was one, it would be great. There's two, and there's a dark green and a light green. And so it's just, I need to open up just a little bit more and be more willing to spend time with other folks. Now, the reality of the situation is right now, we've got COVID. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. We're not supposed to gather. So I would bet that you're going to see a lot of these readings like this having heavy hearts. The blue stone here is my throat. Okay? This is saying my personal truth and living my personal truth and being my true authentic self. And I am happy to say there's one stone there, and so that means I'm doing okay with that. Now, my third eye, there's nothing there. So again, I'm not listening to my intuition as well as I could be, which my guides and teachers tell me that all the time. Would you listen? So that's not a giant surprise to me at all. But what is nice is the amethyst that I have for my crown chakra, and that is that my connection with spirit is good, that I haven't lost that connection. I haven't lost that faith during all of this problem that's been happening. So that is my reading right there. If you want to come into the shop, I will bring in a bowl of stones and I can do a real quick reading for you and show you how to do it in person if that's what you'd like to learn. And there's other ways to read with stones. This is the way I typically do it. It is, I guess that's it. This is the way I do it. So I hope this helped you and it piqued your interest to maybe look at stones a little bit more. We'll be talking about healing with stones on Monday, and it is, and then we'll see what comes up after that. We might go, would you be interested in learning how to make a sigil or how to make an amulet? Because we can certainly do that as well if that's something that you'd be interested in. So I've gone over my 20 minutes. It is 30 minutes now, and I would like very much to thank you for joining me and thank Lisa for talking about crystals. And I'll see you. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.